Aloha friends, I'm Ash.
And I'm Matt, and we are the Yoga Couple,
Welcome back to our channel.
a page dedicated to cultivating freedom in body, mind, and soul. What up? Welcome in, guys. Hello, my name is Matthew, and welcome to today's topic of projection. One of my favorite things to talk about, anything like having to do with the ego and mind and projection. I just love this stuff. So projection and opinion and how actually what people think about us or what people project actually has nothing to do with us. So let's get right into it. So let's take an example of a time when, we project our opinion out onto others. Like, say we are watching a movie and we're like, yo, that movie was stupid. That was so bad. The plot was bad, whatever. And you're watching, you're like, dude, I thought that was awesome. I thought it was great, and you have this completely other opinion other than your friend, okay? And this is like the most obvious cut and dry example because you're both seeing something different. And so you both have this opinion that you're projecting. So which is right or wrong, right? Or are they even right or wrong? And the thing is that they're not right or wrong. It's just a matter that they're different. So from one person's perspective, based on everything they know, based on all their beliefs, their values, all the judgments that they were taught as a child and through their life is now shaping their perspective. So they can only see that perspective that they have been, in a sense, like brought up to see. And likewise, you see your perspective and you see that, it's all based on what you know. Okay, so this is like pretty obvious, right? Like we're both looking at something together. But what about when someone starts to judge us? So this is when it starts to get a little more interesting because we take things really personally and we sometimes get offended, right? So being offended by someone's judgment is kind of like a total misunderstanding because we don't realize that it actually has nothing to do with us. So this is something that's really huge, is we share something about ourselves. It could be the way you dress, it could be how you behave at work, like getting a promotion, everyone judging you and like dogging you for being good at what you do, something like that. It could be getting angry at the person in traffic because, it's their fault and they shouldn't have cut you off and things like that. So whatever it is that when someone else is projecting anger, jealousy, or envy onto us, we take it personally, especially when like they attack us, right? And they say, oh, you're stupid, man. You shouldn't be doing this or whatever. So we receive our projections in from other people. And now the interesting part is that it actually has nothing to do with us, okay? It had nothing to do with us. It all has to do with that person is just projecting their view of the world. And that is something that we never really clearly understood or were taught, right? We seem to take everything personally because we think it's true. We don't realize that it's true, but it's true for them. Just like that example when we were watching the movie, like, yeah, you didn't think the movie was good. For them, that experience was completely true. And we thought it was awesome. For us, that was completely true. In the same way, when someone judges things that we do and they judge it negatively, it actually had nothing to do with our actual work, with our actual experience, or whatever it is that they're judging. This is what's so fascinating and mind-blowing when we truly get it, because it changes everything. There's no reason to be worried about what other people think about you anymore because it's never about you. This is what's so trippy. Now get this, let's take it a step further. That also means that opinions that are beneficial and positive also technically don't have anything to do with you. That's what's really interesting. So in both aspects, we have to be able to accept both. If I can accept all the negativity without reacting and just see, hey man, that's like your stuff. So like I always tell people all the time, like that's your stuff. That's not even mine. It has nothing to do with me. But here's the other interesting part. It's kind of like the flip side of the coin is also positive judgments, people being like complimenting us. Okay, people giving us positive compliments are also a really interesting thing of projection where that technically has nothing to do with you either. That is just them valuing something that you demonstrated and they want to now be stoked on with you. But ultimately, it's still just them reflecting that they value that thing. So I think it's important you have to accept both, okay? If we are like super strong against negativity and we're like, yo man, that's you, that's not mine, we also have to be aware of pride on the other side. And we have to be able to be like, hey, if someone compliments me, that's so nice of them. You see what I'm saying? It's so nice of them because they're projecting themselves. When someone is a nice person, that's just because they are a nice person. It didn't have anything to do with me. So if someone is kind to me, that's them, right? That reflects them, not me. And likewise, when someone's rude to me, that reflects them, not me. So I think it's really important to understand this. Obviously, because it makes us empowered and it makes us realize that judgments are actually not personal. And I think we've heard this, a few times before, this great kind of a little cliche type saying that's when someone judges us, they don't judge you, they just define themselves, right? It doesn't define you, they define themselves. And one thing though that has never been talked about, and I just want to say it one more time, is that also means that positive compliments and positive judgments are also not as valid. They're not a reflection of you. They're actually a reflection of the other person. And I think that this is something that we kind of miss out on seeing. And I think it's worth pointing out and noting because it helps us avoid pride. And pride is when we start to believe all these positive judgments and it carries us to an inflated sense. Because the truth is that we all are epic. We all are perfect. We all are beyond judgment. We all are divine. We all have unique gifts. We all have amazing uniqueness that is one of a kind and cosmic. So the fact that we get caught up on the positive compliments and it carries us away into a prideful and self-infatuation or self-inflation is also detrimental. And I think that this is an aspect of projection that we kind of leave out. We focus so much on putting it to your haters and being strong and avoiding bullying and overcoming bullying. But what about pride? How often do we talk about the other side of this? So to truly master projection, let's go about our day. Try to go about your day and notice compliments and judgments, okay, throughout public. It could be a look, right? It could be a look. It could be a positive look or who's this person look, right? It could be a little bit of everything. And just notice what internally happens. When it's positive, do we get carried away with it and we're like, oh, nice, someone's stoked? Or do we, when it's negative, do we oh man, that hurt, that made me so angry, and we get reactive, right? Look at how we react both ways. I would challenge you to truly master projection is to understand both. It's to understand the positive and the negative and be able to truly be yourself, not because of either or, not because of wanting the positive compliments, not because of avoiding the judgments, but because you genuinely are just being your unique, cosmically perfect, beautiful self. You are just being yourself and you are expressing the unique purpose and destiny that only you could do. Only you can be you, and there's only one of you. So be that despite any projections, despite any judgments, positive or negative, and then we are truly free. Because if we live for the acclaim and we live for the positive, then we become a slave to that. If we live to prove our haters wrong, then we become a slave to that. You see what I'm saying? Be truly free by uniquely expressing you. All right, guys. Absolute joy. I love talking about this. Let's talk about some more fun stuff next time. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Pay attention to projection.